Do you know why women melt under certain physical touches, yet will never tell you which ones they are? Because admitting it would mean exposing their weakness. It would mean handing you full access to their nervous system, surrendering control at the most primal level. And women do not give that power away consciously. But today, brother, I'm going to reveal exactly which physical touches bypass the conscious mind and speak directly to her instincts. There are 8 of them, and the final one is so devastating that, when done correctly, it can turn you into her obsession for weeks. Use it wrong, or at the wrong moment, and you can destroy everything in seconds. So listen carefully, because every word you hear right now has the potential to permanently change how women experience you. This isn't surface-level advice. These are truths women keep hidden even from each other. Let me start with something that completely rewired how I understood attraction. Years ago, I was seeing an incredible woman. Everything looked perfect on paper. Great conversations, laughter, chemistry, comfort. Yet something invisible was missing. I couldn't put my finger on it. One night, we were watching a movie in my apartment. Without overthinking it, without planning it, I pulled her toward me and wrapped my arms around her from behind, my chest against her back, my arms around her waist. Instantly, I felt her body soften into mine. Her breathing changed. She went completely still for a few seconds, as if her system needed time to recalibrate. Then she turned around and looked at me with an expression I had never seen before. She said something I will never forget. "Why didn't you do that earlier?" That single embrace changed the entire dynamic between us. And in that moment, I understood something brutal and liberating. The right touches at the right moments are worth more than 1,000 beautiful words, more than deep conversations, more than every romantic message combined. The first touch you must master is the embrace from behind. And understand this clearly. This is not just a hug. This is emotional kryptonite. It works because it activates something ancient in her reptilian brain. When you wrap your arms around her from behind, you communicate messages words can never deliver. You're saying, "You're safe. I've got you. I protect you." And most importantly, you're doing it without asking. That final detail matters more than you realize. When you act without hesitation, without seeking permission, without uncertainty, you demonstrate that you are a man who knows what he wants. And that certainty triggers desire at a level she doesn't consciously understand. Picture this scene. She's in the kitchen, distracted by her phone, maybe humming a song. Suddenly, she feels your arms slide around her waist. Your chest presses into her back. Your breath is close to her neck. She might act casual. She might laugh and say something playful. She might pretend nothing happened. But inside, her nervous system just detonated. Because that embrace delivers 2 things women desperately crave, but rarely receive together: security and desire. Most men offer one or the other. Nice guys offer safety without desire. Bad boys offer desire without safety. But when you deliver both at the same time, you become something irreplaceable. Here's what most men don't understand. It's not about the physical contact itself. It's about the unspoken message beneath it. You're showing that you are not afraid to claim her presence, that you don't need permission to touch her, that you possess the calm confidence of a man who knows his value. And that confidence is infinitely more attractive than anything you could ever say. Now, here's a bonus detail that multiplies the effect. When you're holding her from behind, lean in close and whisper something simple into her ear. Not something scripted, not something cinematic. Something real, something present. You smell good. You feel warm. Honest, grounded words. That whisper travels down her spine. Her skin will react before her mind does. And that moment will imprint itself into her memory for days. The second touch is dangerous in the best possible way. It's the hand on her waist, especially in public. When you slide your hand around her waist as you walk together or stand side by side, you're doing something she will never openly admit she loves. You're telling the world, "This woman is with me." That simple gesture gives her two powerful experiences at once: security and status. Security because she feels your physical presence anchoring her. Status because everyone who sees you knows she's chosen. And even though modern women claim they don't care what others think, biology says otherwise. Social validation matters at a subconscious level. When others see a confident man publicly claim her presence, her perceived value rises. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. Appearance carries as much weight as reality. When you claim her openly through your touch, you give her something most men promise but never deliver: real presence. She may continue the conversation, she may act as if she doesn't notice, but inside, she is acutely aware of your hand, your energy, and the silent message it sends. Right now, we are one. Here's the hidden truth. That single gesture creates more emotional connection than most long conversations. Because women don't fall for words, they fall for presence, for the feeling that you are fully there with them, without needing to fill silence with noise. The next time you're out together, walking down the street, standing at a bar, sitting at a table, place your arm around her waist naturally, not as territory marking, not aggressively, but as if it's the most normal thing in the world. That naturalness is what makes it powerful. But be careful. This touch only works once attraction already exists. Do it too early, and you appear desperate, invasive, uncertain. Timing separates the men women chase from the men women avoid. The third touch looks small, almost insignificant, but when done right, it's devastating. Gently playing with her hair, tucking it behind her ear. You might think it's nothing. But for her, it's intimate in a way few gestures are. Because when you do it softly, you're not just touching her hair. You're saying, "I notice you. I see the details others miss." Women are desperate to feel truly seen, not obsessively watched, but genuinely perceived. And when you make that gesture while holding eye contact, you create a moment straight out of a film. Her heartbeat slows. Her guard lowers. A part of her quietly asks, "Is this really happening?" She will never admit it, but she will replay that moment later, in bed, in silence, because it felt personal, intimate, and charged with something she can't name. But hear this clearly. Not every man earns the right to make that touch. If she doesn't trust you, don't try it. Too early. It feels invasive. This touch requires established comfort and attraction. When that foundation exists, it melts her completely. If you've made it this far, it means you don't just want to touch her body. You want to speak to her nervous system. You're not chasing superficial attraction. You're mastering the unspoken language that rewires how a woman feels around you. That tells me you're different. That's why you deserve to learn what separates average men from those a woman never forgets. The fourth touch is subtle, overlooked, and emotionally disarming. It's the kiss on the forehead. If the hug from behind is her weakness, this is her emotional undoing. This touch isn't about passion. It's about peace. When you kiss a woman's forehead, you communicate something beyond physical desire. You're saying, "You're safe here. I see you beyond your body. I value your existence." And that single kiss says everything without demanding anything. It radiates respect, care, warmth, and stability. She might be stressed, tired, frustrated, but that kiss calms her entire system. It doesn't say, "I want you." It says, "I protect you." And that message lands in places no words ever reach. It tells her she's more than a sexual being. She's emotionally precious. And that, brother, is something women crave desperately, but rarely receive. They yearn for touches that expect nothing in return. Touches that give. Touches that surround her in protection without condition or pressure. So if you ever want to melt her without trying, don't go for her lips first. Go for her forehead. That's where trust lives. And trust is the foundation of everything else. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. Trust is the bedrock upon which all enduring power is built. And when a woman trusts you at that depth, she would give you anything, not because she's weak, but because she knows you won't use it to take, but to shelter. Now we shift into more playful territory. The fifth touch is your hand on her thigh, but only when done subtly, without possessiveness. This might sound bold at first, but when executed with care, it's incredibly powerful, placing your hand gently on her thigh. No pressure, no tension, no agenda. During quiet moments together, like while driving or sitting close, says something profound. I'm here. I'm with you. Fully. Not speaking, not performing, just grounding her with your presence. That is a language louder than words. This isn't about touching her thigh. It's about the meaning embedded in the gesture. It's safety laced with electricity. And here's a secret few know. The slower and calmer your movement, the more magnetic it becomes. It's not a grip. It's not a claim. It's a signal. The difference between a man who takes impulsively and a man who claims what is already his, quietly, confidently. That's what makes it unforgettable. The sixth touch is the one that makes her lose focus completely. It's the pull toward you. You know the moment. You're laughing, talking, and suddenly you pull her in by the waist or gently by the back of her neck. That move, it short-circuits her mind. It's spontaneous, yet composed. And women crave that because it says, I want you right now, and I'm not afraid to show it. That moment is a flood of adrenaline. Her body doesn't know whether to blush, freeze, or melt, and that's exactly why it's addictive. When done right, it's not aggressive. It feels like gravity, like two forces drawn together with no resistance. And afterward, she might pretend nothing happened. She might keep talking normally, but watch her energy. She'll be softer, quieter. She'll be processing, because that touch stays in her nervous system long after you've let go. She'll replay it tonight. She'll remember the feeling of your hand at her waist, the grip behind her neck, that split second when she lost control, and she'll want to feel it again. There's a reason women remember these moments, even if they never speak of them. They don't attach to logic. They attach to sensation. You're not giving her something to analyze. You're giving her something to feel. And brother, if you ask me which touch triggers more instant attraction, the spontaneous pull or the steady hand on the waist, I won't answer, because the answer is in how she reacts to you. Not the gesture, but the man behind the gesture. Now let me give you one of the most underappreciated yet insanely effective gestures. The guiding touch. That gentle placement of your hand on the lower part of her back, just near the spine, when guiding her through a crowd, letting her pass through a door, or simply directing her movement. That's a minefield of emotional chemistry. Done softly, it says, I'm aware of you. I've got you. It's the purest expression of masculine energy. Calm, grounded, present, protective. And truthfully, this is the balance women crave the most. A touch that asserts without controlling. She won't tell you this, but she'll feel it immediately. That balance between presence and permission is rare. Her body will recognize it instantly, not as domination, not as pressure, but as clarity, as leadership. And because most men are either too passive and don't guide at all, or too forceful and push instead of lead, this one gesture will make you unforgettable. You'll become the exception, the one who knows how to move her, not because you force her, but because she feels safe choosing to follow you. Machiavelli understood this at a profound level. True power doesn't scream. it directs. The man who can guide without demanding is the man women follow willingly, not because they're being led blindly, but because they feel seen and steady. When you master the guiding touch, you become the balance she's been seeking but rarely finds, the gentle conductor of the emotional symphony she didn't know she was waiting to feel. And now we arrive at the 8th and final touch, the one that, when executed with precision, can live rent-free in her mind for weeks. The chin lift. Yes, brother, if you want to know which touch haunts her memory, it's this one. That gentle motion when you lift her chin, maybe before a kiss, maybe mid-conversation. It's one of the most cinematic gestures you can make. It's confidence without words. It says, "Look at me." And when paired with eye contact, it becomes magnetic. This single moment makes her feel completely seen, as if you're not just touching her face, you're touching her entire being. It's delicate, yet loaded, gentle, yet electric. And the truth is, every woman secretly adores this moment, but none will say it aloud, because it feels like something straight from a movie. A moment that catches her off guard, steals her breath, and loops in her mind long after it's passed. So yes, brother, do it right, and you won't just touch her skin. You'll touch her memory. You'll install yourself in her nervous system in a way no other man ever has. But there's something you need to understand about all of these touches. They are not isolated tricks. They are not mechanical techniques you apply like you're reading a manual. These touches work because they communicate something deeper. They transmit presence. They transmit certainty. They say without speaking, "I am a man who knows what he wants and is unafraid to take it." Women may act mysterious. They may pretend to be unreadable. But at their core, they long for connection just as deeply as men do. Physical touch is their language of security and intimacy. It's how they feel seen. It's how they know they've been chosen. It's how they feel alive in ways no words can describe. And when these touches are done correctly, you don't just create chemistry, you create trust. And that is the difference between fleeting attraction and lasting connection. You see, most men spend years trying to figure out what to say, what text to send, what topic to bring up. But they forget about the most powerful language that exists between men and women, the language of touch, because words can lie. Words can be copied, manipulated, regurgitated. But touch doesn't lie. Touch exposes your true energy. When you touch a woman with the confidence of a man who knows his value, she feels it in every cell. When you touch her with the full presence of someone who is entirely in the moment, not thinking about what's next or what to say, she registers it subconsciously, instantly. And when you combine these 8 touches with your grounded masculine presence, you become something she can't find anywhere else. You stop being a man and become the man. Machiavelli understood this truth deeply. Real power does not need to announce itself. It is felt. And when a woman feels your power through these touches, when she experiences your masculine presence, not as noise but as energy, there is no conversation in the world that can compete with that, because you're not appealing to her logical mind. You're speaking to her body, her nervous system, the part of her that doesn't overthink, the part that decides what she truly wants. But brother, you need to understand something else. What you've just been given is power, real power, the kind of knowledge that most men never even come close to understanding. With these 8 touches, you can build bonds others take months to form. You can spark attraction others only dream about. But with that power comes responsibility. Do not use these touches to collect women like trophies. Do not use them to play games with hearts you don't intend to honor. Use them to create something real, with women who are worth it. Use them to build a connection where both of you rise together. Because when you use this power with integrity, you become more than desirable. You become respected, not just remembered, revered. The rules of the game already exist. You didn't invent them. I didn't invent them. The language of physical connection has been here since the beginning of human contact. I'm simply showing you how it works, so you can use it wisely. Now the choice is yours. You can be just another guy using techniques to manipulate emotions, or you can be the man who understands the game so deeply that he no longer needs tricks. He becomes the signal in a world full of noise. Let's recap these 8 touches you've just learned. Not to memorize them, but to absorb them into your behavior, your presence, your instinct. 1. The hug from behind, fusing safety and desire into one silent act. 2. The hand on her waist in public, expressing pride and protection. 3. Playing with her hair or tucking it behind her ear, showing deep attention to detail. 4. The kiss on the forehead, radiating peace, trust, and emotional reverence. 5. The hand on her thigh, grounding her with subtle, anchored presence. 6. The spontaneous pull, triggering adrenaline, surrender, and raw chemistry. 7. The guiding touch on her lower back, expressing calm, masculine leadership. 8. The gentle chin lift, that moment of film-like intensity she'll relive again and again. Master these. Use them with the right timing, with the right energy, and you'll notice a radical shift in how women respond to you. Not because you're manipulating them, but because you're finally speaking their language, the one that lives beyond logic, the one that bypasses doubt, the one that speaks to her instincts and tells her, wordlessly, this man is different. And if this opened your eyes, if you finally understood something about women you never saw before, then you know this isn't about doing more. It's about being more. So share this message with the brother who still doesn't understand why he can't create physical connection. Help him wake up. Help him lead differently. And most importantly, never forget, when you understand the real power of these touches, you no longer need to prove yourself. You let your presence do the talking. You don't have to force attraction. You become the gravity. The next time we meet, I'll reveal the subtle signals that tell you exactly when a woman wants to be touched, even if she'll never say it aloud. The signs that never lie. The cues her body sends when her words won't speak. Until then, carry this truth in your spine, in your fingers, and in your silence. Use it to build something worth remembering. Not to break hearts, but to shape moments no one forgets. We'll talk soon, brother. But when we do, you won't be the same man. Not anymore.